willkommen zu einem neuen Stream. Guten Internet. Heute wollen wir mal ein neues Spiel ausprobieren. Das Spielen heißt foolishmortals. Das Spiel kam, glaube Anfang Dezember oder sowas raus. Anfang Dezember, Ende November, so in der Richtung kam es raus. Da spielen wir so in den 30er Jahren und sollen Schatz auf einem Herrenhaus finden. Aber es gibt und es ist ein Point-and-click Spiel. Das heißt kein Controller, nur mit der Maus spielst du hier. Es gibt hier ein paar Geister, ein bisschen makaber, so Witze, auch dabei so witzig. Und vielleicht müssen wir auch sterben, um den Schatz zu finden. Das wird sich zeigen im Laufe des Spieldurchgangs, wie wir uns anstellen, ob wir sterben müssen oder nicht. Bin schon sehr gespannt. Sah auf jeden Fall sehr interessant aus. Aber ich bin wieder auf einen Geschmack gekommen. Krimispiele bei den Krieg. Habe mir auch momentan dem Steam Winter Sale alle Sherlock Holmes Teile geholt. Auch die ganz früheren Point-and-Clicks. Das heißt, nächste Zeit, sagen nächstes Jahr kann man sagen, wird es ein paar Krimi-Streams geben mit Sherlock Holmes. Und noch eins, glaube ich, 1 oder 2 gab es auch mit so Dracula und Van Helsing. Mal schauen, wie die sind. Aber nicht mehr lange reden. Gehen wir mal rein. Neues Game. Links interagieren. Untersuchen. Doppelklick. So. Wenn du weiter dort. Einen wunderschönen Abend wünsche ich dir. Hoffe, es einen angenehmen Samstag gehabt. Schön erholt. Nicht zu stressig.
They said there was a treasure on the island. Its location, known only to the dead. I could see it in my dreams. How was I supposed to know that in order to find it, I'd have to die too?
Ja, mal schauen. Ich hoffe mal nicht. Geschrieben ist in der Prozess von David Younger. Ich wollte halt anscheinend was anderes spielen, aber ich bin von der Arbeit so am Arsch. Und für das Terminator, das wäre mir zu anstrengend heute. Weil ich habe so ein paar gelesen, dass schon in die Spalte schwieriges Spiel sein soll. Und na, mich aufregen, heute nein. Einfach nur was Entspanntes spielen heute. Ich habe mir überlegt, vielleicht auch noch heute, da hätte ich Reis spielen können. Reis dann auf Rom. Oder das mit den Gods, mit dem Musical. Hatte ich auch Lust drauf gehabt, das wieder zu spielen. Aber habe ich für das Spiel entschieden. Vielleicht kommt es nächste Woche. So, Reis auf Sun auf Rom. So rum. Und das andere. Mal schauen. Ah, schon 35er Stream-Serie. Genau, Stray Gods. Mir fehlt der Name, ich meine. Muss es suchen. Ich wusste irgendwas mit Gods war gewesen, mit Götter. Aber mir fehlt der Name, ich meine. Vielleicht mache ich es nächste Woche, also einmal so einen Stream. Weil es geht ja nicht lange. Stray Gods. Hab mal wieder Bock drauf. Weil es auf jeden Fall sehr, wie gesagt, ist ein gutes Spiel. Stray Gods. Sehr unterhaltsam.
I think you're a fool. Everyone on Devil's Rock knows what happened to that house. Over 30 years it stood empty now. Locals won't go near it. I say all it contains now is dust, cobwebs, and bad luck.
I don't have time for ghost stories.
Then what do you want with it?
33 years ago, the Belmore Trading Company was wound up and absorbed by the state. The owner's dead, the heir nowhere to be found. Money was missing from the company accounts, and it's still unaccounted for. I'm here to find it.
So you're a treasure hunter?
Not quite. I'm an auditor.
An auditor? Records, taxes, all that stuff?
Think of me as the adventurer of the accounts book. But on this case, I'm out of office and on location. At 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, the state's claim on that money lapses for good along with my commission. So I've got one night to find it. I'm overdue for a meeting with the parish comptroller to reopen the case.
The comptroller you're meeting wouldn't happen to be Theodore Grimes, would it?
Yes, I believe it is.
Would be hard to convince him, I'd say.
Why's that? I'm a good talker.
He died about 4 days ago. I'd wager he's waiting to be buried in St. Juniper Cemetery, stiff as a board.
Okay, that might be tricky. Talking to the dead isn't quite within my skill set.
Remember what I said about that house and bad luck?
My bad luck started long before that house. It's a 3-day journey to get here, and it took me 7. And ever since my suitcase got dropped overboard on the steamer, all I have to my name is a pocket watch, a magazine, and $1.
Less than $1, actually. You owe me for the taxi ride.
Yeah.
And here's your change.
Didn't you say you'd take me into town?
You can walk from here. No one with any sense would go further onto this island at night. And remember, the tide's coming in. Within the hour, you'll be cut off from the mainland until tomorrow.
That suits me. I took the pocket watch out of my vest and clicked open the cover. I've got 13 hours to find $13 million.
Unlucky for some, but if you're really dead set on it, here's a tip. Go find the Spirit Queen.
The Spirit Queen? Who is that?
I think you'll find you mean, what's that? Good luck, Murphy McAllen.
Murphy. 13 Millionen zu finden. Prolog. Die Spirit Queen. Aber nur die Sprachausgabe ist, haben die gut hinbekommen. Kann man nicht meckern. Ne?
Walking into the port town of Dead Nettle, I could sense its history in every stone, brick, and plank. Echoes of merchant ships loading and unloading all manner of cargo from expeditions throughout the Caribbean. Gold and treasure that may still lie hidden on the island.
Ich glaube, man ein Bild verschieben, weil man kann das. Machen wir hier. Ja. Weil man kann nicht alles schließen. Übersetzung. Doppelklick nennen. Das sind Kleingeld, Taschennuhr, Zeitschrift. Unter Makaber. Die verschwundene Hochzeit. $2, 2 Cent. Ah, das war fair gewesen. 2 Cent war teuer gewesen. Wenn du es so nimmst.
The door was locked with a sign in the window saying closed for private appointment, reopening shortly. I could see 2 gentlemen inside the store. A spindly man with a wiry mustache had his face pressed against a display cabinet, while a diminutive older gentleman tried desperately to pull him away. I'd seen similar behavior in Laurel and Hardy pictures.
Das 2 Cent. Das war damals ein guter Preis, glaube ich. Ist halt Inflation.
The puppet show hadn't started yet.
Die Inflation ist schon gut gestiegen.
I had heard of the medical benefits of open-air night swimming. To my mind, the only medical benefit was diagnosing insanity in the people willing to do it.
Ich hab Sie. Einen wunderschönen Abend wünsche ich dir.
I shook the gate, but it wasn't going to open. Down the passageway, I could make out a portion of an illuminated courtyard and the echoing trickle of a fountain.
Ich hoffe, du hast einen angenehmen Tag gehabt.
I thought better of swimming.
Slap me with a paddle. It's a whopper.
Oh,
Well, blast my barnacles. That's the third one tonight. These fish sure must have been spooked by something.
kein Glück beim Angeln. Weiß gar nicht.
I thought better of swimming out to the wreck. As best as I could tell, all it contained was dock mud and the future promise of an antibiotics prescription.
Die Wohnung aufgeräumt. Noch einmal was Gutes tun vom neuen Jahr.
The clothesline was decidedly out of reach, even for a person who wanted to steal someone's freshly laundered undergarments. I wasn't one of those people.
Hi Max, einen wunderschönen Abend wünsche ich dir.
It was the door to a newspaper office. A note on the door said, "Out on a scoop. Back later." Of all of the papers pinned to the board, one article stood out to me. It showed the beaming face of a rotund fisherman on the docks with a headline declaring he'd just broken the island's heaviest catch record.
Hoffe, das ist ein angenehmen Tag gehabt, Max. Nicht so stressig auf
The
der Arbeit.
fishing net was worn and useless. Using it would have been like trying to catch soup with a sieve.
Steak.
Are the fish biting?
Not so well today, to tell the truth. That was the first nibble in hours. I'm near Kip's, by the way. I haven't seen you around here before.
I'm here because I have a very important job on this island. A calling that only I can fulfill. Dark secrets that I need to uncover.
Oh, you're a tourist. Now, why on earth would you choose Devil's Rock as the place to vacation?
I must have done something to upset my travel agent. The name's Murphy McCallan.
Nice to meet you, Mac. Not peckish, are you? You can help yourself to what I got here in my bucket if you like.
Oh, thanks. My expectations of a local seafood delicacy quickly unraveled when I plunged my hands into what felt like lumpy jelly. Ugh!
Hey
It
Max.
was a handful of fish guts.
That's the best meat
Spaß.
you get around here. They smell pretty bad, but the critters on this island love them. Who would have known they're good at suckering in tourists, too?
Ja. Heute ging es noch auf der Arbeit so bis 16 Uhr. War ein bisschen mehr los als normal, aber noch nicht so sehr los, wo ich sagen muss, dass Weihnachten vor der Tür steht. Vielleicht kommt die mittags. Aber nächste Woche wird es lustig.
Have you heard of the Spirit Queen?
Heard of her? Sure. But I wouldn't be heading out into the bayou at this time of night.
If she's out there, that's where I need to go.
Murphy, the bayou's dangerous. It's not the kind of place you want to go alone.
I'll be careful.
Well, if you're set on it, just take the western route out of town. Left at Pimlico Rock, then right on into the bayou. Without dark gets in there, you'll see the lights guiding you the last stretch of the way. Just make sure the gators don't get too attached to you.
Ah, hier. Wird nett. Wenn du den meinst, Subsi von Murphy, das ist die Stimme von Zurück in die Zukunft. Wie heißt nochmal der? Schieß mich tot. Wie ist nochmal der Typ? Mir fällt der Name nicht ein von dem Typ. Okay, von dem. Michael J. Fox, genau. Weil der hat den von Murphy hat den gesprochen. Michael J. Fox und so weiter. Und Zurück in die Zukunft. Den anderen?
What's life like in Dead Nettle?
Well, it's not the hustle and bustle it used to be, but it suits me just fine. The ships just don't come through Dead Nettle anymore. Not since the disappearance.
He must have been talking about the Belmore wedding. The locals actually believed the story. Have you ever considered moving to the mainland?
Nah, I wouldn't like it over there. Crazy, oddballs, crackpots. The mainland doesn't have any of them.
Was ist? Hier gibt's auch noch Verrückte was.
What's that you're reading?
This is Herman Melville's Moby Dick.
Are you enjoying it?
I'm struggling my way through it, to be honest. I thought it was a how-to book. I must prefer the last book I read. It was much more action-packed.
What book was that?
The Encyclopedia of Fishing Lures, 3rd edition.
I'm
Okay.
going to get back to exploring the island.
I wouldn't go looking for it if I were you, you know.
Excuse me?
The folks this island gets now either seem to be looking for something or running away from something. You look like you're doing both. You got your eye on that Belmont treasure, and I wouldn't be doing right by you if I didn't warn you to stay away from it. I know this island has a reputation for the macabre, and it's all fun and games in the beginning, but dig too deep, and you end up in the place you don't want to be.
What makes you think I... Ned looked at me in a way that told me my playing innocent wasn't going to work. Okay, that's right, but I'm not a grave robber. I'm an auditor, contracted by the state.
It don't matter what your reasons are, Mac. You need to be careful with that house. Us locals, we don't go anywhere near it.
I appreciate the concern, but who can really say they've seen a ghost?
I have, Murphy, and I'm not the only one. Ever since the disappearance, anyone brave or foolish enough to go up to their house has seen the same thing. You might say it was moonlight shimmering off dusty glass, the shadow of a tree branch, or a curtain blown by an unseen breeze. But deep down, we all know what we saw.
What did you see?
The Phantom. It's not something anyone will forget. Every poor soul who's seen the Phantom has been plagued by the most awful experience. Night after night of endless nightmares. Months of restless sleep. Just visions of faces. Evil faces. Laughing. It's like it can infect your dreams.
And who do you think the Phantom is? Or was?
Nobody knows. But it must have been someone at that awful wedding. Someone who doesn't want to leave the house. Or doesn't want to let anyone in.
I appreciate your concern, but I have a job to do. I don't think my boss would be too happy if I report back that ghosts and ghouls are what's standing in my way.
You're not the first to come looking for the treasure, you know.
But if I find it, I could be the last.
Whether you find it or not, I hope that's true. For everyone's sake.
Ned's talk of nightmares was the last thing I needed to be worried about. Even if it was a job, ever since I read about the Belmore treasure, all I could do was dream about finding it.
Ja. Nein, zurück. Muss sagen, die Stimmausgabe allgemein ist sehr gut gemacht worden. Von den ganzen Charakteren. Also von den, beziehungsweise von jetzt von Ned und so weiter. Hab nicht zu meckern. Na? Junger Mann. Die skulle Ah, wieso geht jetzt hier nicht weiter? Ah, und hier kommst du runter. Das war komisch gewesen gerade eben. Dass ich hier stehen geblieben ist. Und das hier, diesen Plakat. Danke.
The poster advertised billiards at the Captain's Club, with 3 billiard balls and 2 cues framing a cube of billiard chalk.
Hammer, 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 Hammer. Hier haben wir alles. Jewelry. Strand.
As I returned to the beach, I could see the causeway was now fully flooded over by the rising tide. I was trapped here until dawn.
Aber nächstes Jahr wird lustig, wenn wir so eine kleine Sherlock
There'd be no way to cross the causeway back to the mainland until the tide had gone down.
Die ganzen Spielen. Das wird lustig. Ballon. Ballon. Ah, Ballon.
I didn't want to take the little girl's balloon from her. Her brooding face made it more than clear that it wouldn't be a good idea to get on her bad side.
Hast du Angst? Totenkopf. Da 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 da.
Hello? Little girl? You lost your mommy and daddy? It's late. There could be a lot of strange people around.
Yeah, I think I'm talking to one.
Maybe I should introduce myself. My name's Murphy McCallan. What's yours?
Mallory Wisp, angel on the outside, malevolent force of disparagement, derision, and disorder on the inside. At least, that's what Mrs. Huxley wrote in my school report. Hey, do you know what an enfant terrible is?
Do your parents know you're here?
Of course they do. This is my happy place. I come here when I need to cheer up.
What's got you
Der
down?
Vater.
It's my birthday, and I didn't get the present I wanted.
Well, happy birthday. Is being out here helping?
A little. It's a nice place to plot my revenge.
This doesn't sound like an appropriate way for a little girl to spend her time.
Little girl? Little girl? What am I supposed to like? Posies and princesses? Tiaras and tea parties? Those are not my thing.
Hey Wolf, einen wunderschönen Abend wünsche ich dir. Und vielen Dank für deine 7er Streamer-Serie. Stream-Serie. 7 Stück. Ja, das Mädchen ist auch nett. So jemand möchte man immer gerne bei sich haben.
How are you planning on getting revenge?
I'm not sure. Currently, I'm at the plotting and ruminating stage of my plan.
What are you plotting and ruminating about?
How things would be different if I was in charge of the world. We had a school project last week. What we want to be when we grow up. Mildred wanted to be a baker. Bobby wanted to be a firefighter.
What did you want to be?
Queen of the universe.
I guess no one can accuse you of lacking ambition. Do you think you could fix the world's problems and make the world a better place if you were in charge?
Oh, absolutely not. It would be far worse. My patience is worn so thin with all the idiots around me. I don't know if it would be wise for me to wield that much power. You to the dungeons! You to the torture room! It would be very cathartic for me, though.
Die ist gut. Die gefällt mir. Geschenk? Die gefällt mir, die Kleine.
What present did you want for your birthday?
A doll?
A doll?
What's wrong with wanting a doll?
Nothing. I just didn't expect it. It doesn't quite fit with your whole aura.
I'm still a little girl. I don't have to defy all your stereotypes. Instead, I get this stupid tin boat. I know Sebastian's got something to do with it, too. He was all over the tin boat when I showed him my toy catalog from Mulligan's.
Is he one of your friends?
Not in a million years. You can see right through him.
Ah, Mann, die Kleine ist
Shouldn't you
gut.
be heading home?
I'm in trouble at home. Mrs. Huxley held me back for detention yesterday. Again.
What did you do?
I convinced 3/4 of the class to sign over their eternal souls to me in exchange for some jelly beans. Third graders are remarkably easy to manipulate with a bag of candy and a little peer pressure.
Why did you do that?
You've got to speculate to accumulate.
Why did you want their souls? What use do you have for them?
Just making sure I'm prepared. And that's just step 1.
I didn't dare ask what she was preparing for.
Selber bekommen gegen Süßigkeiten. Okay, fängt schon jung an.
Have you heard of the Spirit Queen?
Look, if Maury put you up to this, you can tell him that I have no intention of going anywhere near his big, boring boat again. And anyway, those skulls look better with a little lipstick on them. I even made some cowrie necklaces for them, but nope, if we have a skeletal uprising, they're just going to have to maraud without being dolled up. And they'll have to take it up with Maury.
Who's Moray?
Nope, not falling for it.
Ja, das
Do you
ist-
like living on Devil's Rock?
This island is cut off from society, an isolated microcosm of the dark and macabre. If I'm honest, it fits me quite nicely. Lots of places to explore, too, when I'm not banned from them.
Where are you banned from?
Where am I not? The captain's club wouldn't let me in after I declared a mutiny. The lady at the newspaper office kicked me out when I tried selling stories about a zombie uprising. The witch doctor in the bayou threatened to hex me if I didn't stop sneaking on board and borrowing his toys. And the gravedigger banned me from the cemetery when I played a teensy little practical joke.
What did you do?
I convinced him the stiff he'd buried was still alive. People are so antisocial around
Oh
here.
Mann, die Kleine.
I
Die
better get going.
Kleine.
I wouldn't walk across the beach again if I were you. This beach is covered in quicksand. I can hop along the surface, but with your weight, you'll be sucked down like a noodle.
Oh no. Really? This beach has quicksand?
Nah, I'm just messing with you. Tourists.
Would you like some fish guts?
No thanks. My dad brings enough back from the trawlers as it is. We have them 3 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Really? You eat this?
You're so gullible, Murphy.
Comic?
What do you think of this magazine?
Ghost stories, huh? I mean, it's all right, but I like my ghost stories with a little more edge to them.
Nah.
It was the pocket watch I'd been given when I reached 5 years as an auditor. I didn't know whether it was to celebrate the fact or rub it in.
Kleingeld? Stechung?
I'd like to buy your boat.
What do you think I am, a yacht broker named Mitch? Gotta get the big sales before the end of the month. I don't need your money. There's nothing on the island to spend it on.
Okay, ich glaube, wenn ich eine Puppe habe, kann ich es gegen den Boot tauschen.
Despite the little girl's disparaging look at her tiny toy, I doubted she'd be okay with me commandeering it.
Ja. Was ist das? Ich glaube, Puppe gegen Boot muss ich später tauschen.
There would be no way to cross the causeway.
Ja, ich muss später tauschen. Puppe gegen Boot. Bis jetzt ist schon ein lustiges Game.
After what felt like miles, the eerie darkness of the bayou gave way to the soft orange glow of a gas lamp. And beyond it, the last thing I expected to find in the heart of the swamp.
Das Spiel hat sich auf jeden Fall
Hand-painted
gelohnt.
lettering on the side of a paddle wheel revealed the Spirit Queen wasn't a person, it was a riverboat. Its hull sagged, the wood swollen and split from years in the swamp. Peeling paint curled like dead skin, and what remained of its once grand decks now tilted and crooked. It looked like a wedding cake that had been left to rot.
Kuchen.
I considered climbing the water tower, but I couldn't imagine what I'd find at the top other than stagnant, moldy water. And there was plenty of that in the bayou already.
Insel. Dockmeister.
The sign read Dockmaster. Presumably, this little shack was where documents and licenses pertaining to the riverboat's operation were stored.
Verschlossen. Ja.
I jiggled the handle, but the door was locked.
Hä? Du bist doch.
As I took the shrunken head from the sign, it almost seemed to grin at me. Creepy.
Einfach einstecken. Was soll schon passieren? Wer nimmt nicht schon einen Schrumpfkopf mit?
I needed to think of something else. Hand-feeding the alligator didn't seem like a good idea. What if it bit off more than I was offering? The shrunken head was already disturbing enough without shoving rotting seafood inside it. Nope. I couldn't. Whoa! The alligator snapped at me like a sprung trap, giving me more than enough reason to stay well away from those teeth. If I wanted to get across the jetty, I needed to make sure the alligator wasn't on it.
Irgendwas muss ich noch machen. Wieso bin ich schon müde? Ach, doch, von der Arbeit ein bisschen anstrengend. Von der Arbeit doch ein bisschen anstrengend
I
gewesen.
needed.
Was kann ich machen?
I may have been new to the bayou, but even I knew that plunge.
Warte mal, gar nicht den Kopf dem Mädchen geben.
How would you like to trade your tin boat for this?
A doll?
At least the head of one.
Deal! Oh, I'll hug him and kiss him and conquer the world with him.
Oh Mann.
Hard to starboard, little boat. Prepare to weigh anchor.
Okay, das Mädchen ist ein bisschen, ja.
She seemed busy with her new friend. I didn't want to take her brooding face.
Das Mädchen ist ein bisschen balabala. Und wo zum Geier kommst du her? Als die Reporterin trotzdem.
Mr. McAllen,
Yes? How do you know my name?
it's a work assignment that brings you to the island. Am I right?
She began staring at me with intense, hypnotic eyes. Disguised within her tailored outfit and tortoiseshell spectacles, she had the crazed look of someone not entirely in touch with reality. That's right.
An auditing job.
Eyes that looked like she was reading my very thoughts. Yes?
And you're late. Days late.
I was beginning to panic. Ned had warned me about the supernatural on this island. Was this person standing in front of me equipped with psychic powers that could read my very thoughts? How do you know all this? Are you the witch doctor?
The witch doctor? No! It was written on this telegram that came in for you. It came through a few days ago now. Your boss isn't too happy by the looks of it. Bill Bolam, the taxi driver, telephoned and said I'd find you out here.
You're reading my telegrams?
I'm a newspaper reporter. It's one of the best ways to get a good story. Now, do you want it or not?
If you wouldn't mind.
McAllen, you're late reporting in. I don't remember authorizing the reopening of a cold case, but you better make sure it pays off, or you'll be swapping desks back to the mailroom. Sid Sinclair Auditing Company.
Do you want to send a reply?
What was there to say? My only contact was going to be pushing up daisies by morning, and my one lead was the magazine I'd been carrying with me since heading out. Before I checked in with my boss, I needed some progress to report badly. You know, for now I'll just leave it.
Suit yourself. Sounds like you're up to some fun on the island, Murphy. Be a sweetie and keep me updated so I have something to write about, won't you?
She didn't even wait for a reply before she started striding back through the bayou. She hadn't taken a single thing from me, and yet somehow, I still felt like I'd just been mugged.
Ah, so. Warte mal.
I packed the fish guts into the tin boat. It was the smelliest little ship to sail the 7 seas.
Und dann hier, dann kann man den vielleicht.
Perhaps this would attract the gator's attention.
Ja.
The hulking mass of scales and muscles lumbered to the edge of the jetty and dangled its two.
Ah, schade. Sorry, mein Fehler. War zu voreilig gewesen.
Ready? Aim.
Feuer.
With a splash that would be the envy of any cannonballing kid at a pool party, the irritable reptile disappeared into the murky bayou. I just hoped it didn't hold a grudge.
Sagen wir so. Ruhiges Tierchen. Jetzt kommt das Krokodil nach oben und frisst sich auf. Spirit Queen.
The taxidermied fish looked like it was barely hanging on to the rotting wooden frame. Deciding it would be better coming with me, I picked it up. And in doing so, tore a long hole in its previously stitched up seam.
Oh.
It was the taxidermied fish I'd taken from the riverboat, with a ripped seam opening up to the stuffing inside.
So, das ist das. Ah, von hier sehen wir.
The writing on the paddle wheel said in fancy painted letters, the Spirit Queen.
Spirit, Spirits and specters from realms yet unknown, guide to me the wanderer who
Oh,
searches alone. Welcome, Murphy McCallan.
How do you know my name? Have you been reading my telegrams too?
I have no need for such trivial paperwork. I have eyes all over this island. Now it's time for me to see you for myself. Come, step into the light. I know a lot about you, Murphy. Unknown parents, a childhood spent in orphanages. I know things about you even you don't know.
How do you know all that?
My name is Dr. Moray. I am a conjurer, a shadow man, a controller of spirits that balance the line between life and death. And those spirits whisper to me. But for now, it's your time to talk, Murphy. Tell me why you've come to my humble abode.
I've been told you could help me.
That depends on what you seek.
I kept telling myself that the doctor's theatrics didn't convince me.
Oh,
That there must have been a logical reason why he knew what he did, but with how skittish the locals were, humoring him seemed like my only chance of learning more. I'm looking for the $13 million that went missing from the Belmore accounts. I'm an auditor in the company I work for.
Murphy, do you take me for a fool? I know what your mind sees when your eyes are closed. Tell me, Murphy, what do you dream of?
Schatz.
I dream about finding the lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
I see that spirit within you, hungering for more than an auditor's life. And I know you've dreamed about that treasure every night since you first read the story. Tell me I'm not right.
It's like the treasure is calling out for me to find it.
Many have sought the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. All have failed.
Jetzt
Some,
kann ich.
it is said, have perished in the process. Do you know what happened at Belmore Manor all those years ago?
The ghost story? I've read it, but I don't know how much of it is really true.
All of it. Dark magic runs throughout Belmore Manor. The house was built by the Belmore brothers, 3 merchants from England who made their fortune trading across the Caribbean. Xavier Belmore, an explorer. Yardley Belmore, an actor. And Cecil Belmore, a scientist. Their parents dead for many years, they each loved and cared for their young sister, Abigail. Abigail met a young sailor who worked aboard her brother's ships, and in less than a year, he proposed. The engagement was a scandal. Despite having the pick of any eligible bachelor in high society, her hand and her share of the Belmore fortune was to go to a commoner. Because of their unconditional love for their young sister, the Belmore brothers sanctioned the union. But people began to wonder if Abigail was being locked into marriage, whether by blackmail or black magic. The 3 proud brothers planned a grand wedding, but in the months leading up to it, one by one, each of the brothers was lost, presumed dead. And yet the wedding was still to go ahead. And with Abigail set to inherit the entire Belmore fortune once she came of age, people began to wonder whether the sailor was not a perpetrator, but a pawn. On the morning of the wedding, Abigail summoned the sailor to her chambers. "I don't love you," Abigail declared. "I never loved you." And before the guests gathered in the house, Abigail declared that she would marry another on that same evening. John Rackham, first officer of the Belmore Trading Company, would be her new groom. Except that didn't happen. That night, everyone in the house suddenly and mysteriously vanished. Perhaps it was the last revenge of the scorned sailor. In the house that night was a heart that would be broken, a victim who would be tricked, and a force that would unleash evil. But no one knows exactly who each was. If you want to find the treasure, Murphy, you'll have to find out.
You're telling me that all of that actually happened?
And so much more, Murphy. Mysteries you have yet to uncover.
Dr. Morey's performance was gripping, but it seemed like something out of the vaudeville shows I'd snuck into as a teenager. Grifters peddling magic spells, fortune-telling, and miracle elixirs. At least that's what I tried to tell myself. And the treasure, is that real too?
It is as real as you are, Murphy. And someone went to a lot of trouble hiding it.
Can you help me find it?
I can. If you can prove your dedication to the search, I will need you to retrieve something from inside the house. A small leather pouch called a gree-gree still lies inside Abigail Belmore's bedroom. We will need it if I'm to help you. This will get you inside.
Gut.
You're not gonna pull a rabbit out of your hat for your next trick, are you?
I do not do tricks, Murphy McCallan. You'll soon learn this. The Belmore estate lies at the end of the northeastern peninsula of Devil's Rock. Find that gree-gree and bring it back to me.
Gree. Ah, da hinten.
I'll be here when you return. And Murphy, this ghost story? Now it's your story, too.
Ich kann mich wiederholen, aber es ist trotzdem wirklich gut, eine gute Erzählweise. Der ist haben wir wirklich toll gemacht. Die Charaktere stimmen, wie die es erzählen, ist schon toll. Das kleine Kind hier ist ein bisschen verrückt. Der gute Doktor.
Framed by trees and lit by moonlight, Belmore Manor stood imposingly in the still night air. Even without any lights on, it felt like something inside the house was calling me. Or warning me.
Ich glaube, es ist ein Angebot, das Spiel. Ich glaube, es kostet 15 €, glaube ich. Irgendwas in die Richtung ist das Angebot.
I considered wading into the pond, water up to my waist, squelching my way through the reeds and mud, past frogs, bugs, and water snakes. Then I realized I had absolutely no reason to do that.
Ich glaube, so Point-and-click-Spiele spielt, oder beziehungsweise wer so Monkey Island gemocht hat, glaube ich, das wird auch ihm gefallen.
I considered, then I realized I had.
Weil Monkey Island ist auch ein cooles Game.
From the patina of rust, it was clear the patio set hadn't been used in decades. Ouch!
Haha.
So much for good luck. I picked up the horseshoe that had assaulted me. It was heavy, as the bump on my head attested.
So, Hammer. Was ich gestern gemerkt habe, ich habe Monkey Island 1 und 2 auf Steam drin bei mir. Ah, in der Bibliothek. Das erste ist remastered und das normale Zweier.
Rust, it was clear the patio set.
Ich habe die Spiele auf Steam, muss ich gar nicht. Vielleicht irgendwann ist mal Monkey Island 1 und 2.
The wheel was too heavy to move.
Ah, bestimmt.
The knot was tied so tightly I couldn't loosen it.
Brauchst ein bisschen Messer. Nee.
That wasn't going to work.
Ah, ausprobieren.
The doors were firmly locked from the inside. The cow skull was out of reach, high up on the gable.
Wegen des einige Spiele habe ich noch auf Steam, die man spielen kann.
Looking out over the tranquility of the gardens, its magnolias lit by moonlight, nothing could take my attention away from the macabre sight dangling from the oak tree. A hanged skeleton, its wedding suit little more than tattered rags clinging to bone, and its skull seemingly watching me with hollow, unblinking eyes. An eternal groom without a bride.
Weil auch die Spiele Zurück in die Zukunft, die point-and-click-Spiele, die habe ich auch noch. Aber es sind alles noch auf Englisch leider.
The stark trunk of the tree didn't offer any possibility of climbing it.
Die sind leider nur auf
The
Englisch.
skeleton hung high up in the tree, swaying with each slight breeze. Even from down on the ground, I felt disturbingly close to it.
Den habe ich leider nur auf Englisch. Moment. Baum. Ah, ist wieder da. Ich bin wieder da.
From the outside, I couldn't spot any clues to the location of the Belmore treasure.
Und was ich gefunden habe, es gibt halt ein Deutschpatch für das, ich würde sagen, Tales of, das, vielleicht spielt es nicht ein, vielleicht spielt ein.
I needed the key to open it.
Ja, da ist ein Schlüssel.
With a deep breath, I placed the key into the lock of the house I'd been thinking about for weeks and turned it.
Rein mit mir.
Hello?
Ich will das
I
Spiel
don't
ein.
know if I expected a reply, but with only an echo in response, it seemed like nobody was home. I hope that was just the wind. It
Ja,
wasn't
aber
time to leave. I needed to explore the house.
wenn ich es überprüfen, ob es angeht, ob die Tür aufgeht, wollte ich sagen.
An orb appeared seemingly from nowhere, glowing and shimmering with energy, simultaneously captivating and terrifying. It was like it had a presence, an aura that I couldn't explain. My first instinct was to look for smoke and mirrors, but this illusion was right before my very eyes, one that I could reach out and touch.
Touchy. Touchy. Aber das Spiel wird ungefähr 2 Streams gehen. Ich habe mal geguckt, wie lange das Spiel dauert.
With neither of the doors appearing to open, I peered through the crack between them. I couldn't tell if I was imagining things, but it looked like shadows dancing.
Es soll zwischen 9 und 12 Stunden dauern. 2 Streams ungefähr wird es
It was
dauern.
a painting of Abigail Belmore, hauntingly beautiful.
Alles
The door
so.
didn't have a visible lock, but as much as I tried, it wouldn't open. Without a flue, the fireplace seemed entirely decorative, and yet, standing in front of it, I could feel a breeze.
Die Brüder.
It was a family portrait of all 4 Belmore siblings. The 3 brothers stood around their seated younger sister.
aufgeschlossen.
Like the other door, this door had no keyhole, yet still seemed to be locked too.
Wir was sehen. Optionen, Tagebuch. Okay, warte. Ich wollte sehen, ob ich speichern kann. Oder es automatische Speicherung gibt.
The two sea deities stared at me with disapproving eyes. I didn't know what I could have done to disappoint a statue.
Wollte ich mir anschauen, was ich kann. Ob ich es kann. Einmal nach links. Auskorridor. Vor allem mit dem Licht. Was soll passieren? Ist ja nicht so, als ob jemand leben
This
würde.
was strange. I didn't remember seeing any lights on when I was outside the house.
Geister.
I looked behind the curtains, but there was nothing there. I couldn't ring the bells from the hallway.
Ringelingeling. Hier kommt der Eiermann.
The door was locked.
Verschlossen.
The door was locked.
Was haben wir hier?
Walking into the room, I realized it must have been Abigail's bedroom. I was in the right place. Somewhere in this room was the Grigri, and I needed to find it.
Aber woher das Licht? Okay.
The sheets lay flat on the bed, undisturbed for more than 30 years. The Grigri wasn't going to be there.
Nach 30 Jahren sollte eigentlich der schon ein bisschen Motten haben. Sollte eigentlich schon längst.
Portraits hung tight to the wall and didn't reveal anything hidden behind them. The portraits hung.
Sollte eigentlich schon längst.
Lighting the
anders
fire
sein.
may have warmed the room, but it couldn't take away the chill I felt standing there.
Ja, Feuer brennt noch.
I tried to lift the ashpan grate, but decades without use had rusted it in place.
Neben das hier.
I took the poker from the hook.
Get out.
I hope that was my imagination.
Ich habe auch gedacht, das wäre irgendwie. Ich hätte mich verhört.
I wedged the poker in the grate, and with all my might, pulled.
Ah, ist kein Feuer, das ist so ein Diamant.
I picked up the object that had been glinting in the fireplace and discovered it was a jeweled brooch. It was an ornate brooch that had tarnished with age. What should have been a sparkling gem was now grimy and dull.
Sauber machen?
I needed to think.
Da nicht. Ups. Georgie.
It was best to leave the vase where it was. The music box was locked with no visible keyhole, but a distinctive indent on the front looked like it might be the mechanism to open it, if I had the right key.
Wenn.
I couldn't see anything special about the phonograph's reflection. There was nothing I could do with the tabletop. That wasn't going to work.
Also, was wird? Ansonsten. Hier braucht Schlüssel, da lassen, da lassen. Ich wollte
I
Fotograf.
tried to open the balcony doors, but they were locked securely. I wasn't getting through them. The phonograph didn't have a record to play. That wasn't going to. The sheets lay flat on the bed, undisturbed for more than 30 years. The Gree wasn't going to be there.
Gree. Wenn ich wisse, was das Gree ist.
Nope.
No. Ah,
The brooch fitted snugly into the indentation in the music box. With a small click, the music box opened and revealed the contents it had held untouched for more than 30 years.
okay, das
The
war
small leather
lucky.
bag was just as the witch doctor had described. It was hard to imagine what could be so important about it.
You should not be here.
Wait, I can explain.
You don't belong here.
I don't mean any harm.
Get out. Get out.
Abigail. Ja. Wenigstens
With
bist
good
du noch.
fortune, the pond had broken my fall. It was a strange juxtaposition, wiggling goldfish out of my underwear as I tried to process the fact that I'd just been the victim of an attempted murder by a ghost bride.
Aber wie
The
ist...
stories were true, so that meant the treasure might be real as well. And now I had the Gree. It was time to return to the Spirit Queen.
Von hier bis da vorne. Boah. Schon starker Schubs gewesen.
Did you find it?
I saw her. I saw the bride. She tried to kill me.
I told you it was true. Now, do you have the Gree?
Yes, I found it.
Good. Good. Now, do you believe what I've been telling you?
I'm starting to. Why did she try to kill me?
There are some spirits that, even in death, do not wish to give up what they amassed in life. The question is, are you strong enough to persuade them?
I would be if they'd give me a chance to ask them.
Precisely. That will be our next step.
Jetzt sagt Nägel, schwarze
A
Federn.
manuscript for a voodoo spell? A spell to help me find the treasure?
A spell to reveal those who know where it is. There are many things on this island that have gone unseen. Stories that have been left unheard, at least by mortals. But I commune with realms beyond. Let me introduce you to a friend. Out of the shadows, the cursed and the damned, return now, my servants, to do my command.
I have returned to you, Master.
Loa, this gentleman wishes to find the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. Tell him how this can be done.
Gar nicht.
Only inhabitants of the house know where the treasure lies. Their spirits still within its walls, trapped between life and death. To ask them, those spirits must be pulled back to the mortal realm.
And that is what our spell will do, Murphy. A summoning spell to unveil the ghost trapped within the house.
7 ingredients place inside, tie closed and then unseal. Within the focus what may hide, this spell will soon reveal.
Once you've collected all 7, we can summon the ghosts of Belmore Manor. Once we've summoned the ghosts, we can ask them exactly where the treasure was hidden. You have served me, Loa. Be gone. That, Murphy, is your goal. Find the 7 ingredients named in the voodoo manuscript, place them in the Gree, and return to the Spirit Queen. Are you up to the task?
I think so.
Excellent. Then there's just one thing left to do. The Gree that you carry is not yours. It was stolen from the spirits. And an artifact of voodoo will only work for its rightful owner. to be used. It cannot be stolen. It can only be bought or traded or inherited. Fortunately for you, the spirits and I are willing to make a trade for something symbolic of your spirit, the spirit that yearns to escape its humdrum life. If you want the Gree to be rightfully yours, what do you have to offer in exchange for it?
Mein Lieb.
Gazing into the spirit pool, I thought I could see formless faces gazing back at me.
Wo ist das Gree?
It was a small leather pouch with a drawstring that I'd taken from the bride's bedroom.
Kräuter, was wird
It was a man. It was a hand. I didn't need to talk to the witch doctor yet. I needed an item to trade for the Gree.
Ja, die Sache ist, was für ein Item.
Now wasn't the time to leave. I needed to.
Ach so. Just yeah.
Would the spirits trade the Gree for this?
A valuable brooch indeed, but I seek something that represents you, Murphy.
Ah, die Uhr. Bestimmt.
What about this?
A pocket watch, a symbol of the life that doesn't satisfy you, a symbol of lost time. Dare you give it up?
I think I can do without it.
Then cast it into the spirit pool.
2 Uhr. Und jetzt mit hier.
The spirits have deemed it a satisfactory trade. The Gree and its powers are now rightfully yours to wield. You are ready now, Murphy. Head out to the island and retrieve the ingredients we need. Then I will show you the final step of the spell.
How am I going to find what I need?
Everything I've ever needed for my voodoo spells, I've found here. It's as though this island draws the supernatural to it. The bayou, the beach, the town, the manor, all will help you in your search. Tell me, Murphy, have you visited the mill to the north, the fort to the south, the church at the island's heart? The island will lead you to that which you seek. I have no doubt about that.
So. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ich kann jetzt nicht reinschauen. Geister.
How are the ghosts trapped within Belmore Manor?
The explosion is what sealed their fate. They exist now only as spirits, the form they should take in the spirit realm, and yet they remain here in the mortal realm. The ghosts are trapped in that house, unseen, unheard, and unable to interact with the world around them. This spell will change that.
How is the bride able to attack me when she's supposedly unseen and unheard?
Voodoo works best when attuned to emotion, and the strongest of those emotions can sometimes push beyond the known limits. She must have been very angry with you.
If I summon the spirits of the house, won't I also summon the bride again?
Very true, Murphy. Best be a little more persuasive this time.
Ja, bist du nicht überzeugender? Kriegst du wieder aus dem Haus. Explosion.
What was the explosion that caused everyone to disappear?
It was a tearing in the very threshold between life and death, a chain reaction of spirit energy suddenly unleashed by the most violent of emotions. Just as the bride's anger allowed her to manifest in front of you this very evening, think of the rage that must have caused an entire household to explode and vanish.
Okay,
Who is the creature that you talked to?
That is my Loa, the Loa of the mysteries, the invisibles, the messengers.
Is it a ghost?
No, they are the intermediaries between humans and the supernatural. There are 2 planes of existence, Murphy, the mortal realm and the spirit realm. Loa can move between them both. With my powers, I can command them when they do.
Wo kann ich Voodoo lernen?
How did you learn voodoo?
I have always been adept with the mystic arts. Just as you dream of treasure, Murphy, I dream of power. I came to Devil's Rock many years ago, drawn by its voodoo energy, and no sooner than I arrived, the spirit realm began to reveal itself to me, pleading for me to be its master.
Oh. Voodoo-Energie.
Why is this island such a focus of voodoo energy?
I suspect the answer to that question already lies in what you're seeking.
Schiff?
What's this riverboat we're aboard?
This is the Spirit Queen. It used to be a pleasure boat, plying the rivers around the island, a den of drinking and gambling. That's how I came to own the boat. A lucky game of chance. But between you and me, Murphy, it's a lot easier to win when you have spirits to control the roll of the dice.
It sounds like you cheated.
Fate was always gonna bring this boat to me. I just hurried it along.
Man schummelt nicht, wenn die anderen das nicht mitbekommen. Also, na.
Do you keep an alligator as a pet?
That's right. My dear old Mephistopheles. Blind as a bat, but with the smell of a bloodhound. Good thing he's chained up safely in the boiler room.
No, he isn't. He was out on the jetty when I was trying to get aboard.
Where is he now?
Swimming in the bayou.
Oh dear, not again.
I'm going to go and find the voodoo ingredients.
Hurry back.
Mephistopheles. Was waren? Der Beschwörungszauber. Bis jetzt? Super Spiel. Das Zynische, Makabre und so weiter. Ich schon. Was ich sagt, der Schweizer. Silbermünze rum.
At the center of the manuscript was an empty circle with around the illustration was 7. It was the change the taxi. That didn't work. It was the change the taxi driver had given me from our drive across the causeway. It was the telegram from my boss. It read,
McAllen, you're late reporting in. I don't remember. Sid Sinclair.
Dann schauen wollte. Sagt ja die Kreide, schwarze Federn, Schluss. Ah, Schießpulver. Oh, steht jetzt das Schusspulver. Ja. Silbermünze, rum, Knochenfragment.
I jiggled the handle.
So, haben wir was am Strand. Oh, das Mädel ist weg. Die Verrückte ist weg.
I peered into the tide pools, but all I could see was pebbles, sand, and seaweed.
Oh, eine Flasche.
As I picked up the bottle, I anticipated what could be inside. A brine-stained treasure map, perhaps, or a scribbled plea from a castaway desperately awaiting rescue. Looking inside, I found it was empty. The only writing on it was the embossed glass letters of the Orangello Soda Company.
Wie viele Taschen hast du eigentlich? Normalerweise müsste der nächste voll sein. Ah, okay. Ah! Jury ist voll aufgemacht.
Oh, my second customer of the night. I don't know if I can handle such a rush. Welcome, young man, to Doubloon's Jewelry. Oh, the riches to fill your breeches. Jewels, silver, gold, the finest things for you to behold. Whom do I have the pleasure of meeting?
My name's Murphy McAllen.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you. My name's Jasper Crumb, owner and proprietor. Are you looking for something valuable while you're here on the island?
Funnily enough, I am.
Is there a Special someone in your life? Looking for an apology gift, perhaps? I've sold more missed anniversary necklaces and drunken fumble earrings than I can count.
No, I don't need anything like that.
Then how about something for yourself? You look like a working man. Could I interest you in a pocket watch?
Actually, I had one up until about an hour ago. Traded it to a glowing green guy for a magic pouch. As the words left my lips, I realized I sounded like a character from Jack and the Beanstalk.
Pardon me?
I'm just here to browse.
Browse away, young man. I'll be here if you need me.
Hier ist der Silbercoin. Warte mal. Erstmal schauen wir
Cabinets
so.
filled with used jewelry. Rings, brooches, necklaces, and more. Even secondhand, I would have had to save for years to afford any of them. There was no way I could carry a fishbowl full of water and a live goldfish around with me.
Probieren kann man's ja.
I didn't need the poster. Robbing a jewelry store really wasn't my style. The cabinet was filled with precious jewels, geodes, and fossils next to a small sign that read, Treasures of the Earth.
Okay, ich dachte hier der Dingblock, der.
I inspected the carving. Its woodworm-dotted surface and water-stained edges suggested it had once been much more than a decorative piece in a jewelry store. The cabinet proudly displayed all manner of gold and silver creations, watches, necklaces, pendants, and more, all made in-house by the jeweler. Even if I could reach it, it was probably better for the jeweler to operate equipment like that.
Oh, man kann's ausprobieren.
There was no reason to use the
Ah.
Good evening, Mr. Crumb.
How can I help you?
How's
Geschäft.
business tonight?
You're not a millionaire with an enraged fiancé, are you?
I'm not, no.
I didn't think so. Then business tonight is about as lively as a snail drinking decaf. The only other customer I had in here tonight was more interested in the provenance of fossils than the shiny stuff. Booked a private viewing, and then didn't buy anything. Can you believe it? The first time in weeks the shop gets a private viewing, and all they're interested in is bones.
You sell fossils, too?
I sell all the treasures of the earth. If it's under the ground and I can sell it, I'm interested.
I hear Burke and Hare had the same philosophy.
Ja, was verkaufst du?
What are you selling?
We specialize in jewelry and precious stones. Rings, necklaces, earrings, and brooches in this cabinet to my left. Gems, geodes, and fossils in this cabinet to my right. You'd be surprised at how much of an impact some stones can make. My family can tell you that. We also offer a free polishing service on all purchases from the shop. Just bring it in and we'll shine it up for you. Our little thank you to our loyal customers.
How do you know what jewelry was purchased here?
I handcraft everything this shop sells. I have an encyclopedic knowledge of our wares, Mr. McAllen, going back decades.
Ja, man könnte vielleicht die Brosche vielleicht polieren.
What's the most valuable thing in here?
I suppose that depends on how you value things, doesn't it?
In dollars and cents?
Yes, I used to value things that way. But a lack of business has a way of making you more philosophical about these things. Now I'd say the most valuable thing here is Granny.
Granny? Your grandmother is in here?
That's right. In the fishbowl. Granny is my goldfish.
You named your goldfish Granny?
Yes, it was the most wondrous thing. The same day my grandmother Bethesda died, I was out at the local fun fair, and I won this goldfish on the ring toss. When we got home, every time we mentioned Bethesda, that little fish jumped out of the water and back on in. We think Granny's passed on into that fish. What do you think?
I mean this with no disrespect, but I think that's the craziest thing I've come across tonight, and I had a ghost bride trying to kill me.
We all have our quirks.
But don't goldfish only live for a few years? If she was your grandmother, she must have died sometime around the middle of the last century.
Oh, yes, that's right. Each time the goldfish dies, Granny's spirit hops into a new fish. We must be on Granny number 44 by now.
Oma 44. Ah, ich glaube, Der hat auch schon mal 4 Jahre vor sich. Könnte man auf Granny 50 kommen.
I'm looking for lost treasure.
I'd say you found it. Everything inside these four walls is a treasure, handmade to the finest quality.
I mean a specific treasure. The lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
Well, if you find it, bring it in here for an appraisal. I'll give you a good price for it. But that's a pretty big if, isn't it?
Ja, was weißt du darüber?
What do you know about Belmore Manor?
Oh, it's a tragedy what went on there. But I know what I think. Black magic.
Black magic?
That's right. While some of us make an honest living around these parts, there are others who are lured in by the darker depths of the sea.
Who do you think that was?
Well, it's simple, isn't it? Abigail used to stop by here all the time, taking a gander at the rings and the necklaces. She was a lovely young girl who always saw the best in people. And Mr. Rackham, he was a model for how to run a good business. Honest and decisive. Now, that only leaves one person, doesn't it?
The sailor?
Exactly. I'd heard rumors about black magic going on inside Belmore Manor. I think he was casting his spell on Abigail, making her fall in love with him. Why else would someone as rich as her want to marry someone like him? He certainly couldn't afford the rings and necklaces that caught her eye. I think, come the night of the wedding, she wised up. That's why she decided to marry Mr. Rackham after all. A much more responsible choice for the company.
Aber vielleicht ist es gerade auch andersrum gewesen. Mr. Rackham war der Voodoo-Arsch und der hat sie verzaubert. Vielleicht?
What's the carving on the front of your counter?
That is the genuine stern carving of the Golden Goose, the famous brigantine. I could trace my family's history on the island back hundreds of years, right back to the ship's owner, Captain Bartholomew Crumb. You've heard of him, I expect.
Captain Crumb, the vicious pirate? I read about him as a child.
One of the most successful in the Caribbean. That is, until, as the story goes, he got pursued by a ghost ship.
Oh, Geisterschiff.
A ghost ship? Surely that can't be more than a legend.
Then how do you explain this? Without a single shot fired, every sailor aboard his ship fell down dead, victims of an evil pirate who wielded a black stone. Captain Crumb was the sole survivor. He escaped undetected in a rowboat, and after days at sea, made it to this very island. After that, he never went to sea again. Instead, he set up this shop with the one chest of jewels he'd managed to carry away. Some of the gems you see around here still date back to that final hoard.
A black stone killed the crew?
Well, so the story goes. I suppose it explains my family's obsession. Not just the gold and jewels that tempt us, but the wicked stones that threaten us.
Captain Crumb. Ja, warum hier?
Why did Captain Crumb come to Devil's Rock to set up his store?
This was his home port. Devil's Rock used to be quite the lawless island. Legend goes he used to hide his treasure along the southeastern coastline. The island is dotted with caves. Plenty of places to hide the loot.
I think I'll just look around for now.
I'm here if you need me.
Excuse me, would you be able to polish a brooch for me?
Let me take a look. Oh, well, 18-karat yellow gold, filigree wirework in a handcrafted floral motif, and round, brilliant cut ruby, if I'm not mistaken, made to fit a music box?
That's right. How did you know that?
I know my own handiwork anywhere. Now, how did you get a hold of it?
Oh, just a gift.
What a generous gift indeed. Well, we do offer free polishings on all items purchased here, so I'd be very happy to shine her up for you. Please, bear with me for a moment.
Okay, ich hab Zeit. Ich hab Zeit. Mal sehen, wie die jetzt aussieht.
There's no way I could carry a fishbowl full of water and a live goldfish around with me.
Granny 44. Flush.
The neck of the bottle was far too narrow for the pudgy little goldfish to swim through. Nope.
Nope.
That didn't work. That wasn't going to work.
Ah, hätte klappen können.
It was a small leather pouch with currently.
Ja, ja. Hm.
Nope. I needed to think.
Schmeiß es drauf. Hier sind schöne Ringe. Hm.
There was something intriguing about the manuscript.
Hm. Ah, okay.
There we go, shining like a firefly's rear end. I'm afraid the clasp on the back has broken off. You weren't planning on wearing it soon, were you?
I wasn't planning on wearing it at all.
There's no shame in indulging yourself every once in a while. Lord knows I can appreciate the comfort and empowerment a pair of hosiery can bring. Anyway, we don't have any replacement clasps in stock, but I can put it in order. In the meantime, here's a button magnet that should hold it in place, as long as you're not too vigorous with it.
Thank you.
Ooh, chic, chic.
It was the ornate brooch I'd had cleaned at the jeweler's, now glimmering in the light.
Chic, chic.
What a nice young man. Isn't he, Granny? I couldn't have put it better myself.
Okay. Wir müssen jetzt eh zum... Wobei. Hat er offen? Ah, ist offen. Gehen wir zum Innenhof. CC Oberkellner. Irgendwann. Ah, machen wir gleich. Ah, die ist ja noch da. Und die ist auch noch. Die ist auch da. Hm? Schon gar nicht da gewesen. Ah, da geht's raus. Ah. Sag's doch gleich.
Murphy McCallan, so you're still here. What have you been up to? Anything newsworthy?
That's none of your business. Don't think I've forgotten your trick with the telegram.
Hey, it's nothing personal. Your business is my business, and my business is news. I'm Evelyn Stoker, editor of the Juniper Parish Gazette. No misdeed left unshared, no drama left unmonetized. Come on, work with me here, McCallan. I need something juicy. Committed any crimes? Uncovered any affairs? Any deep, personal secrets to reveal?
The honest-to-God truth? No.
I need a good story. I can't let something minor like the truth stand in the way of that.
Die wird wohl alles für eine Story
I
machen.
picked up the scissors. With her stunt at the bayou, I figured she owed me one.
Shit.
I didn't need to cut that.
Ah, Magnet.
I didn't need to wear... I needed to... That wasn't going to work.
Warte mal.
The fish was already ripped open.
Okay, noch nicht. Da nicht.
I picked up the twine. Maybe she owed me two. That wasn't going to work. The twine would be more useful to me and... The taxidermy... It was the
Hm.
Hey, you can't come back here.
Sorry.
Verklag mich.
There was no way I was going to get past the newspaper editor to get it. Besides, I didn't know how to operate it.
Don't even think about it. The spring on that printing press looks like it's going to blow at any moment.
Ja,
It was a
komm.
big, fancy printing press, which must have cost a fortune decades ago, but was now very much out of date. That wasn't going...
Yes?
Hi.
Evelyn Stoker. Von den Romanen von Stoker.
What are you working on?
One of the most romantic articles this newspaper's ever seen. Francois Fogg, Dead Nettle's local pharmacist, is reuniting with his long-lost love after 14 years apart, thanks to this newspaper's personal ads column.
What a lovely story.
That's right. She mailed in a letter she wanted printed. Her former sweetheart saw it, and now they're on track to see each other again. Eventually.
Eventually?
Well, that's a bit of an administrative issue. In the letter we received, she told him to meet her in her Texas hometown of Magnolia. Due to a tiny typesetting error, he's now on a 6-week voyage to Mongolia. But doesn't it warm your heart how far people will go for love?
Mongolia und Texas, das sind ja zwei verschiedene
Don't you have more
Richtungen.
interesting stories to write about?
The crackpots this island calls a population wouldn't know something interesting if they paid for it. Which they hardly do. Believe me, I've tried to get juicier stories. Scouring the island, doorstop interviews, hiding under windows.
You eavesdrop on people through their windows?
It's called investigative reporting.
Mongolia, Texas.
I'm doing some research on the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Have you found it?
Well, no, not yet. I've just started looking.
Then don't waste my time. Come back when you've got the goods.
You might not believe this, but I saw a ghost inside Belmore Manor.
You know what? You're right, McCallan. I don't believe it. Really? You've been on this island how long? And you're already starting to sound as loopy as a local.
Ja, wir haben ihn gesehen. Wir sind vom ersten Stock bis ins Wasser geflogen.
Have you ever written an article on the disappearance at Belmore Manor?
What a waste of column inches. Leave it. That's my advice. There's no story in it.
No story.
Not one that anyone would believe. And I've got advertisers breathing down my neck.
What do you think went on?
Practically everyone on this island thinks there was some kind of sorcery involved. No one is looking at the reality. If I write up my research, no one on the island will believe me. If I write their wackadoodle theories, I'll be laughed out of the industry.
Was ist das?
You can tell me what you've uncovered about Belmore Manor. Trust me, at this point, few things would surprise me.
I heard the Belmore Trading Company was losing revenue. Its profits eaten up by who knows what ventures those brothers had going on. I've seen the records. The company was privately owned, sure, but when you've got pressure building and the sharks are circling, you've got to shore up your defenses. I think that's why the Belmores persuaded Abigail to marry John Rackham.
Marry someone she didn't love?
But he didn't love her either. He was just after the company, so he hires the sailor to seduce her, convince her there's more to life than Devil's Rock. And as soon as she marries Rackham, they split, never to see each other again. He inherits the lot, and she disappears with her lover boy sailor to who knows where.
But why do you think all the guests disappeared?
They bumped them off to cover their tracks. Either one of them could have been sunning it up in Sarasota ever since. But imagine me writing that into a piece of serious journalism.
Just before.
Do you know Comptroller Grimes?
How could I forget him? The guy was a walking, talking migraine generator.
Surely you shouldn't speak of the dead like that.
Why not? I spoke plenty worse about him when he was alive. Anyway, I'm sure everything happens for a reason. And hopefully that reason is to increase my circulation numbers. Everything's connected, you know? Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? I suspect it works for moths, too, because I can never get the damn things out of here. Some people say that if a man breaks wind in Alabama, it can cause a hurricane in Fiji.
I think I shared a train car with that guy on my way here. What's in those filing cabinets?
Past issues of the paper, going all the way back to 1858. Of course, things were a lot more interesting when Dead Nettle was thriving. People, ships, and cargo coming and going. Lots to report on back then. More than the dregs I have to dress up now.
Ja, warum?
Why did the ships stop coming to Dead Nettle?
The Belmore Trading Company was the heartbeat of this island. After the disappearance, there was no one left to run the company, and it all got sold off. When that folded, so did pretty much everything else.
Do you have any back issues featuring the Belmore Manor wedding?
We don't, I'm afraid. Most of the paper's directors were at the wedding, and disappeared along with everyone else. The newspaper had to close up shop for months while it was restaffed. This was back when the Gazette wasn't run by just one person.
I think I better be going.
Ja,
Keep your eyes
irgendwie.
peeled for a story, McAllen. There are secrets on the island, and it's my job to run advertisements next to them.
Ja, Wenn die Chefs auf der Hochzeit sind und alle verschwinden, kann man nichts mehr schreiben. Schränke, Kamera.
There was no way I was going to get past the newspaper editor to get it. Besides, I
Was
didn't know how to operate it.
Einfach draufdrücken. Druckerpresse, Druckerpresse. Ja, das ist halt. Gibt's eine Karte? Ah, mit M ist die Karte. M ist Karte. Gibt es auch ein Inventar? Ah, hier kann man Inventar anzeigen. Okay. Hier ist Inventar.
The stories about Belmore Manor are true. I saw the ghost bride inside the house.
Blast it, Murphy. Don't say I didn't warn you. This island has had its fair share of the macabre. The best way to deal with it is to leave well enough alone. Why are you searching for that treasure anyway?
Well, it's my job. The state's claim on that money runs out at 8 a.m., and I'm supposed to find it.
You seem pretty passionate about something that's just for work. What are the odds you draw an assignment like that?
Well, I might have made my own luck there. They wouldn't normally authorize an investigation so close to the statute of limitations running out, especially on a 30-year-old cold case. But thrust a stack of forms in front of the boss 5 minutes before clocking off on a Friday afternoon, and he doesn't care what he's signing.
Let's just hope he wasn't signing your death warrant.
Most of my investigations don't amount to more than counting paperclips in a municipal building or going cross-eyed over receipt rolls in a courthouse. When I found that old case folder tucked behind the filing cabinet, its only lead, a water-stained magazine, talking about a real-life haunted house, how could I pass it up?
Yeah, full shift.
You didn't tell me the Spirit Queen was a riverboat.
Oh, sure. That thing's been moored up in the bayou with her keel kissing the mud for years. Which doctor lives aboard her now? Claims to sell all manner of hoodoo and voodoo. But to believe that, you need to be dumber than the bachelor in New Orleans, throwing beads at the Sisters of Mercy.
Der kann mir als
I
verkaufen.
spoke with Dr. Moray. He thinks we can make contact with the ghosts.
Moray is a charlatan and a fool. Only got into hoodoo and voodoo a few years ago. Before that, he was an actor over at the Calliope Theater, and not a very good one. He's the only person I know who directed and starred in a one-person production of The Pirates of Penzance. And that's because all the rest of the cast dropped out rather than work with him. He's always been searching for respect and recognition. Who would have known he found it by living in the swamp and reeking of incense?
Ja, glaub's nicht, oder?
Don't you believe in voodoo?
I certainly do. I just don't think Moray's got any more control of it than the rooster has control of the sunrise. His understanding of voodoo amounts to whatever he's gleaned from one of those horror pictures Ventura Studios puts out at the movie palace. My mama used to know all about it. God rest her soul. Voodoo isn't some made-up Hollywood magic, Mac. Voodoo's a real religion. It's about community, about belonging, and about searching for something more than flesh and blood. It's not the snake oil he peddles.
Ja, was glaubst du?
What do you think happened at Belmore Manor?
Now, there's a tale I don't like to tell.
Can I persuade you to tell it anyway?
I have a feeling I ain't gonna get any rest until I do. You know about Miss Belmore, the bride, engaged to the sailor? Nah, the way I hear, Mr. Rackham was over the moon with her. Such an upstanding fellow. I won't have a bad word said against him. Now, he realized that the sailor was going through terrible lengths to ensnare his bride, and Mr. Rackham tried to save her. I heard that the sailor caught on to this and tricked Rackham into giving the lady a gift. That's what made everything go topsy-turvy.
What was the gift?
There are places in the Caribbean that trade things more elusive than gold. Ungodly things.
Do you think the disappearance was caused by voodoo?
And that's what my mama used to say. If you're not careful, that stuff can go to your head.
Und,
No luck fishing?
Not a bite, Mac. The Pengoza fish just ain't snapping for me today. Shame, too, because I'm planning on firing up my grill later. And the tastiest catch in these waters.
ja,
How do you catch a Pencoza fish?
With hours of patience and decades of practice. You ever wrestled a rod before?
Just the once. I went fishing on Lake Erie, but the only thing I caught was a cold. What do you do with the fish you catch?
A couple I save for myself, and the rest I sell to the captain's club. They fancy them up with lemon lobsters, slawfish, something or other. But everyone knows the best way to cook them is to grill them.
Ja, das stimmt.
Why won't you hear a word against Mr. Rackham?
He gave me my first work on this island, right here on these docks. And I'm still here to this day. He may have worn a scowl, but he don't judge a banana by its peel with people like him, Mac. When I looked into his eyes, all I saw was ambition.
What work did you do?
Loading and unloading the ships that came in. Of course, they just don't do that anymore. Dead Nettle's a forgotten town. Maybe that's for the best.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
Hey, Ned, do you mind if I borrow your knife?
If you need it, Mac, just bring it back to me later tonight, would you? If I'm lucky with my catch, I'll be firing up the grill. And you're invited to join me, of course.
Okay, jetzt habe ich auch ein Messer. Ja, sicher. Messer in die Brusttasche stecken. Ganz bestimmt.
I didn't need to cut the... I didn't need... The fish was already... The twine would be more useful to me intact.
Okay.
It was an empty soda bottle I'd found.
Okay, dann. Da müssen wir noch hin. Da müssen wir noch hin. Zum guten CC.
There was nothing in the fountain except a rim of moss and dirt that made it look like a stained toilet.
Yeah.
I glanced at the ledger on the podium. It was mostly empty. The words I could see were written in such an unreadable scrawl that looked like a centipede had dipped its legs in ink and skittered across the page.
Yeah.
Good evening. He looked past me like I was invisible, as though if he ignored me hard enough, there was a chance I'd disappear. I said good evening.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were talking to me.
There's no one else here.
Wishful thinking on my part. Have you taken a wrong turn, sir?
I'm just having a look around.
Well, make it a quick one, and I shall need to know your name.
Murphy McCallan, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
My name is Felix Greer, maitre d', bartender, and acting manager of the Captain's Club. When Mr. Perkins has the night off.
Was ist das für ein
What
Ort?
is this place?
This, sir, is the Captain's Club, a private members club for current and retired sea and riverboat captains. We are highly exclusive. Are you a captain?
He asked with a smugness that told me he already knew the answer.
I thought not. Then may I recommend a swift exit? You'll find a convenient egress to your starboard side. If you like, I can give you a good swift kick in the right direction,
Was
sir. And
was
don't
ein
feel the
Arsch.
need to stop walking until your ankles get soggy.
Was ein Arsch.
I'm looking for the lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
Oh, goody! Another young adventurer seeking fame, fortune, or some combination of the two. Just the local color Dead Nettle has been lacking.
Ich habe ein Messer. Ich kann zustechen.
What do you know about the lost treasure?
Do you think you're living in a storybook? Weathered maps, talking parrots, X marks the spot? Grow up, you silly boy. Captaincy is a noble skill that doesn't need to be trivialized with childish tales of lost treasure.
Das Mädchen hat irgendwie die Weltherrschaft. Der Typ ist ein kleiner Snob.
You must have some thoughts on the disappearance.
On moonlit nights, when the waves crash against the rocks, the captains of this club trade yarns about this very mystery. Did you know Abigail Belmore's fiancé was a sailor who worked on the ships? Some of the old boys here even worked with him. They say he loved her, as true as a captain loves the sea. But she was a temptress, a siren. She scuttled that sailor's heart, consumed by a voodoo premonition that she had to fulfill. More beautiful than a mermaid, and twice as fishy.
What did she do?
After months of engagement, she broke it off and chose to marry an officer of the company instead, on their very wedding day.
Why did she do that?
The rumors I've heard are that they discovered something in the Caribbean, something wicked, something that consumed them and drove them to heinous acts. The Belmore brothers swore their crew to secrecy, and the men were loyal to their word. But the rot in the rope was that sister, Abigail. People say that whatever they discovered took hold of her. With the sailor's broken heart and the officer's resources, she was about to unleash something terrible. Until the disappearance halted her evil plans.
Do you think that's true?
Of course not, it's all nonsense. But the captains do love to outperform each other with such tales on a dull evening.
Kein Captain.
What makes you think I'm not a captain?
For one thing, you lack the grizzle, the crustiness, the essential R of a captain.
How do I get those?
Years of exposure to saltwater, and a sullen, uncooperative crew, I should think. You even have a boat.
Actually, I did have one earlier this evening, but an alligator fell on it. Admittedly, it was only 3 inches long.
It isn't the size that matters, sir. It's the motion of the ocean. Tell me, have you ever captained a 3-rigger through a tropical typhoon? Have you ever run the rapids of the Mississippi without hitting a single reef? Wind in your sails? Fire in your furnace? Waves beneath your keel?
Have you?
Well, it's a little complicated.
In what way?
I get seasick.
Is there any way to prove I'm a captain?
You might show me your captain's license. As I'm sure you know, the state of Louisiana requires all captains of both river and sea to carry one. But don't try to foist off a fake on me. Last week, we had someone present a license with a photograph distinctly unlike their contemporary appearance. The photograph was clearly of someone a good deal older than them, with more facial hair, and most importantly, one less eye.
You know, I quite like being out at sea.
Oh, really, sir?
Bobbing along the ocean waves, up and down, like one of those roller coasters at Lunaland. Up and down and up and down.
If sir would please be quiet. Else I expect there'll be a few waves of something coming out of my mouth any moment.
Ich will noch ein bisschen weitermachen. So, up and down, up and down.
Ned told me he sells fish to you.
Der sich
What do you
übergibt.
serve here?
Captains.
Right, yes, I mean by way of food.
The Captain's Club serves a dazzling array of sea-sourced dishes. From our house special jambalaya to my personal favorite, Devil's Rock Pancosa, pan-seared with lobster slaw and citrus crawfish beer blanc. In all honesty, it's not very popular. Most of the clientele are absolutely sick of seafood by the time they get ashore. Just the sight of it makes them queasy.
Ja, wenn man so lange auf dem Schiff herumtreibt oder fährt, da hat man normalerweise viel Meeresfrüchte zum Essen.
What about drinks?
Listen, if you're from the Prohibition Bureau, we've cleared all of that up with Officer Moe. Fines were paid, items changed hands, and now we're clear.
I'm not from any Prohibition Bureau.
Then forget I said anything. The Captain's Club is strictly teetotal, in line with federal law. Now, if certain members wish to bring in their own medicinals, then we're happy to provide the accompanying aids. Ice, tonic, mixers, and the like, but we serve no alcohol on the premises.
Is the club busy tonight?
Well, we haven't opened yet, but if it's like last week, it'll be quite the lively soiree. I could barely keep up.
The members here like to have a good time?
That's right, sir. Both of them. This town sure isn't what it used to be.
2 Stück.
What's happened to Dead Nettle?
Do you think you've wandered into the Tourist Information Center? I can assure you, you'll never meet a tourism official who dresses with this much panache. Stuart LePew, head of the Devil's Rock Historical Society, looks like a thrift store had a crisis of conscience and threw up on him.
I was just hoping to talk to someone so obviously knowledgeable about the area.
Well, yes, that is true. I am plagued with an encyclopedic knowledge of the locality. My concierge duties require it. I have a spiel.
Felix pushed out his chest like this was his moment in the limelight, his eyelids half closing as he performed before imagined crowds.
Welcome, hardy traveler, to our quaint port town of Dead Nettle. Once this town you see around you was a hub of commerce, a beacon for ships
Ja, es
bravely
kann sein,
navigating between
so ungefähr, was
America,
weiß was.
Europe, and the Caribbean. With the unfortunate dissolution of the Belmore Trading Company, our town has settled into a quieter life, perfect for the sailor ready to hang up their cap. We hope that you enjoy your time in our cozy town and perhaps explore some of the local sites here in Dead Nettle. Well,
Excuse me?
I was expecting applause.
I best be casting off.
Don't feel the need to rush back, sir.
Aha. Kann ich rein?
You can't go up there. It's for members only.
Ja.
Members.
Arsch. Kann ich noch was anschauen? Nein, dann nicht. Aufzug. Da rein. Der Arsch. Kann ich wieder übersehen.
From the patina of rust, it was.
Ah, warte mal. Kann ich jetzt mit dem Lauf Schere?
The rope was too thick for this. I would have been.
Ah, warte. Messer. Ha. Ah. Ah, ich wollte nicht reingehen.
I reached up to the cow skull and dislocated its grisly jaw.
Ah.
I needed to think of something else. Nope. That didn't
No.
work. I couldn't. Nope.
Naja.
There was nothing else I could.
Achso. Dachte, wir können uns hier unten umschauen, aber war wohl nichts.
I wasn't going to touch the molasses with my bare hands. With the items I was borrowing across the island, some may have said I had sticky fingers, but this would have made it a little bit too literal.
Das hier.
The molasses was far too thick and
Warte mal.
that didn't work. I needed to think of something else.
Also, wir brauchen noch was. Der nicht, der nicht.
The wheel was too heavy to move.
Ah,
I needed to think of something. Nope.
wieso?
Nope. It was a small. I did. That wasn't.
Ja, ist ja eh klar, aber für
That wasn't going to.
Jedi.
I needed to. I didn't need to cut.
So
I
nicht.
didn't need to cut that.
Ah, ich muss bestimmt hier hingehen und dann kann man was machen. Bin bestimmt noch zu früh. Komme ich da
From
rein?
the ground, I didn't have a clear view through the balcony doors, but that didn't stop me from knowing the dark magic that went on beyond that broken glass.
Komme ich
I went to
rein?
open the door into Belmore Manor, but the key was gone. I was sure I'd left it in the lock.
Okay. Ich. Warte mal mit.
I considered wading into the pond. Then I couldn't.
Okay.
Belmore Manor.
Nee, nee. Aber ich glaube, wir machen heute ein bisschen mehr früher aus. Boah, ich bin müde. War doch anstrengender als gedacht. Dachte, ich kann mehr machen, aber sprechen. Aber ich merke langsam auch am Anfang, habe ich gemerkt, wie ich sehr müde werde. Dachte, es klappt. Na, habe ich doch etwas übernommen. Boah. Aber auf jeden Fall werden wir es am Montag weiterspielen. Oder vielleicht morgen früh, wie ich aufstehe. Wenn wir dann sehen, ein bisschen. Auch wenn heute ein bisschen kürzerer Stream war. Hoffe, hat euch gefallen. Weil mir macht das Spiel auf jeden Fall sehr viel Laune. Ist ein lustiges Game. Die Charaktere sind gut gemacht. Ein bisschen satirisch, makaber, zynisch, wie du geschrieben hast, so Weißbrot. Ist auf jeden Fall sehr unterhaltsam. Wird auf jeden Fall, ich denke mal, auch später sehr cool werden. Ich freue mich darauf auf die nächsten Streams mit dem Spiel. Wir können noch schnell reden. Und dann werden wir gleich gehen wir zu ihr. Daher wünsche ich mal eine gute Nacht. Schlaf gut, erholt euch. Und jetzt wahrscheinlich bis morgen. Vielleicht gibt es morgen ein bisschen StarCraft 2 weiter. Daher schönen Abend, schlaf gut und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.